Hello, and welcome to another episode of Turning Sparkly Cardboard Sideways. My name's Jimmy, Bancroft is behind the camera, and right here will be my personal phone number, 859-279-2405. If you have any questions, concerns, critiques on any deck profile or battles we post, please feel free to send me a message, or if you just want to say hi or share some of your deck tech, deck list ideas, please send me a message, and I'll try to reply as quickly as possible. Thank you.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack Production. Today, I, Bancroft, will be joined finally, once again, with Jake.
What's going on, everybody? Glad to be back.
Been some time. You just haven't been on camera for, what, the last 2 weeks, I think it was?
Something like that. It was just weird how the stream table worked out. I just didn't show up. But I was there, I promise.
I mean, we did get your Xeno Goku profile. We never got a chance to show it off, though, unfortunately.
Well, who knows? It might come back around.
Yeah, I won't play Garlic Jr. against that one. I must have Crisis Crusher. So, what we have today is a deck that's almost identical. It is Bulma versus, I know you can't see it, there's a really bad glare where this was at. I wasn't aware of it at the time. But Matt is playing the new Gogeta leader.
Yeah, the set 11 one. So these are both really similar lists in that they want to win through the new set 11 Gogeta chain. And Bulma is more of a control list where the set 11 Gogeta wants to finish the game on its third or fourth turn. So I think it's safely a mid-range. Maybe it's fifth turn. So I think it's safely in the mid-range section of this meta.
So, when swings, top 7 cards gets to pull a extra card of an energy cost of 1.
And that's just amazing. You can go grab Wolf Fang Fist off of your leader swing.
Yeah. Which takes the place of the normal draw for that frontside leader, so he could whiff.
Yeah, and occasionally I have seen the leader whiff, but it's uncommon. Here he goes into Rise of the Super Warrior to grab his fusion pieces, which is another thing that makes this deck faster than the Bulma deck.
Does that require a Pacific leader?
Yeah, requires a
Okay.
Gogeta BR leader.
Now, I don't know if you own any. You might own Abe. I can't remember. Yeah, the Abes for drawing purposes.
I have one, but it didn't really find its way into this list. I get to draw 2 on the back anyway for free.
That's true. I forgot about that. Yeah.
And you get to draw 2 when you fuse as well. It just the amount of cards in my hand are very rarely an issue.
I didn't think about this. Could this also been a reason why this takes so long? That he had a self-awaken against you?
Yeah, pretty much. He has to self-awaken, and both of our decks have a lot going on during the battle step. So once we start boarding battle cards and unisons and start swinging, the game gets even more complicated. I know we've sped the footage up, but in real time, this game took over 50 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, we went to Human Being.
Yeah.
And came back during this duel. So you took that hit. It's like he's about to bring out his unison. Goten's an interesting one, if I'm correct.
The -5 is incredibly powerful, and it adds consistency to the deck. Personally, I'm a fan of the Jiren unison, which he's got in his energy area over there.
Yeah. Let's see here. Which Gotenks is that again?
It's 15 base battle power.
I got the Deku.
Fusing into Veku allows him to draw off the leader, and then he'll draw again off of the Gotenks activate main. And then he'll also get to add a marker by fusing.
I do remember coming by and seeing his hand and going, wow. Like, both of you guys had, I think, pretty decent hands, too.
I think at one point during the game, he calls for a hand check, and I had 12 cards to his 14. It was just insane.
Now, I also do remember at some point, you guys you mentioned you had to call Jimmy over. When we get there, we'll see it. But you had to call Jimmy over because there was like 5, 6, 7 different autos going off at one time or something like that.
It was like we wanted to get the ordering right because it really mattered if our Gogetas auto to proc and when they got to proc. So we wanted to call a judge to make sure we got it right. For the record, if 2 6 drops are on the board and one swings, both of them have the opportunity to proc their autos, even if one of them leaves the table before the battle step is over.
It's very similar to what happened to me in a tournament when I was playing Prison a long time ago. I comboed with a certain card on my leader swing. I can't remember what the card is. It's a Kikano, if I'm correct, that negs a battle card by 5,000. And then I played Berry Blue. And I was able to take my opponent, who was playing Baby, 6-drop 8 from him. But the Ape's auto still proc, so it still negged my Berry Blue, even though it was on my side to fill at that point.
Yeah. It's weird how autos work in this game. They go into pending and pretty much resolve no matter what.
Yeah.
So that turn, I boarded the Jiren Unison, +1 and swing at his Gotenks. I know there aren't many cards in his list that can prevent this from happening, and if he does get to -5 the Gotenks, I likely die. Even though Bulma is probably one of the more defensive decks in the format, but Baby is around and Blue Vegeta is around, so there are a lot of defensive decks in the format.
You currently don't have anything on the board, battle card wise, either.
And haven't all game.
Now, I will say that's another perk to that deck. I just realized that he just pulls all his negates because at turn 1 he did pull Wolf Sank's Fist. Now he's pulling After Image.
Yep. You can grab Rise of the Super Warrior for consistency. It's a really underrated ability. It's basically the Broly BR's ability, but it never goes away until you awaken.
Speaking of cards, the negate you have in your deck, I don't see a lot of people playing those negates anymore.
I recently played in a webcam event, and there were 7 rounds, and 3 of my 7 games were against Invoker. And with that much Invoker running around, you want to have 1 or 2 drop area negates in your deck.
Gotcha. It's not a bad call because it's a negate in case you run out of cards in your hand. You have to run out of negates in your hand because you think you have to discard 1 card to trigger it, right?
You remove the Final Guardian, you pay the energy cost, remove the drop area negate, and a card of the same color from your hand.
Gotcha.
So here he fuses, adds markers to Gotenks, gets to draw cards. A lot happens off the Union with this deck, but without any battle cards on my board, and assuming he doesn't go into the 8-drop right here, I'm sitting in a pretty good position. So we're just resolving all of the various things that happen.
The problem is that if he decided to swing with that 5-drop, you could kill it instantly, I think.
Yeah.
Wait, what is Jiren's? He minus
25, ignoring barrier with the activate battle.
Yeah.
He could swing at the Jiren, and if he does that, then the activate battle can't be used because Unisons don't.
I forgot it's during I forgot about that. It's during your defense stuff, so you won't be able to do it.
Right.
Unless he swings at your leader.
Yeah, if he swings at the leader, then I can do it. Although I feel like if you don't have the 6-drop, going into the 5 is pretty risky.
I would agree.
And we'll see something similar happen as the game continues. Yep, goes into the 6-drop. So he'll get to add even more markers to Gotenks.
So Matt's a great guy. I gotta call him out real quick. Before this duel started, I mentioned to both you guys if you knew your combo areas and stuff like that. And his battle card is totally in that combo area.
Yeah, Matt and I famously kind of use our playmat as an extension of ourself, in that we don't really, unless we're at a big event, we don't really use the traditional combo areas. We've played each other so many times, we know what each other means, you know. Although it could make it unclear for the viewer.
Yeah. Let's see here. He's still, I guess, debating what to do next.
Yep. I'm wondering if he's considering going into the 8-drop, but worried about a counterplay Yamcha stopping that.
Because you would have, well, it wouldn't stop it. It would just neg it by
It would
15.
keep me from critting the 2 life, because by the time the
That's
auto
true.
procs, I have a battle card on board.
That is true. Yeah. Did you have one by chance in your hand?
I don't think so.
Do you actually play them though?
Yeah.
Okay.
I run 2. So here I fuse second, which allows me to neg his Gogeta 15 for free, and then I go into my own 6-drop, and here's where things get incredibly complicated.
So because you swing, your auto procs, but because of for Matt, one of his opponent's battle cards swings, it procs his auto as well.
Right.
Your auto results first. It would neg his by 20k, which then would kill his Gogeta.
Right.
Then his would go off, negging yours by 20k, and he's out of energy, so he can't negate it. So there's no way he can actually finish off your Gogeta, because the Gogeta's 37, right? 35, right?
Right. He could Wolfang Fist for free, since he has a unison on the table.
Yes, he could.
And then use the Gogeta,
which he has one in his hand, so he probably does.
He picked up earlier. He opts for the after image here.
I don't know why he's putting it underneath the card. I guess to clarify that 40,000 boost.
Yep, that's how Matt and I play.
Fair enough. Though I can't remember, does after image actually state card?
I don't know. And with the neg, it
I know it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, it ends up being irrelevant.
Yeah, but I don't know if you can. Let me pull it up real quick.
I think it's leader or battle card, now that you mention
it. No, choose up to one of your cards. It does say cards.
Wow. And then on the Jiren swing, he Wolfangs and finishes off the last 5k power on my Gogeta.
Yeah. Does Wolf... Wait, hang on. That's confusing. Hang on a second.
So, after
this might have been me coming over and telling you, I think I saw that, and I said, you can't select a battle card. Maybe it wasn't.
This later in the game.
Okay.
That's after you guys get back from the coffee shop.
So there is a misplay there.
Yeah.
Because you swung with Jiren, right? And then he Wolfang Fist.
To be fair, he could have used the negates in a different order with the same end result.
And that is true, yeah. I just wanted to make sure we caught that, that's all.
Yeah. Because it does get corrected later in the game when the same interaction comes up. So here's where I think the strength of the Bulma deck comes in. In the later parts of the game, when you can spend less energy on more efficient effects, whereas the Gogeta list really wants to have the game over or nearing completion by this stage. It doesn't have a lot of offline, and by that I mean cards that aren't part of the Gogeta chain in the list. So really, from here, as long as I can take care of repeated 6-drop Gogetas, I should be in good shape.
Yeah.
Although the same is true for him. If he can take care of my 6-drop Gogetas, then he should be in good shape. It really comes down to the unisons. Jiren unison versus Gotenks unison.
And you're definitely doing your best to make sure he does not get that 5 markers on it.
Yeah. It's really devastating, especially against a low-powered leader like Bulma, where you have to combo very heavily if your opponent makes it to battle phase.
It's one of those things where they both get +1s, I think, per their main ability, where Gotenks is where you play, I think, a unison, it gets a +1 counter to it. Jiren's just a natural +1. So at that rate, eventually you would probably wear out his unison before yours gets worn out.
Also, double strike against single strike.
That's true. Yeah.
The problem is that Jiren costs one more energy.
Yeah, but it's I agree. I think you're the one mentioned. It's one of the better red unisons.
I think it might be the best red unison. See here, he fuses into the 5-drop without a 6 and swings, and I just basically 3 for 1 right there.
And hang on, let's resume this real quick. Sorry, and resume. So, say that again real quick. What just happened?
So he fuses into the 5-drop Gogeta without a 6-drop to play on top of it, and swings with a different card, allowing me to -3 the Jiren and kill it before he got really much value out of it at all.
And since he swung into your leader, it allowed you to -3 on your Jiren.
Yep.
And that Videl is such a great card when it comes to Bulma, because not only is it a negate, it's also a blocker.
Oh yeah. I actually poured through the bulk boxes at our local shop looking for these, and when I couldn't find any, ended up buying like 12 WMET packs.
You could have just asked.
Well, I needed them.
That 1-drop Broly is such a clutch card in most games.
Oh yeah, it grants so much information.
Okay, real quick for future reference, let the man put the rest of his hand down first.
Fair.
There, I think there was still 2 or 3 more cards there that you didn't get a chance to see.
Yeah.
I mean, Grant, that was probably the best bet. I think I saw an Afterimage and another 5-drop, I think.
There was a Raditz super combo as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Broly Crown of Retribution is one of my favorite cards in this list, and I'm thinking about increasing it to 3 copies. Because against blue decks, it lets you look at the hand and potentially rip a counterplay before you evolve from your 5-drop into your 6-drop or your 6-drop into your 8-drop, and really keeps you from getting blown out.
Matt's playing red in the very defensive method, which is what I'm more familiar with when it comes to like prison and stuff. I love Is That All You Got? Such an amazing card.
Yeah, it's an excellent card, and frankly, I've been thinking about trying to include it in Bulma. I'm just currently experimenting with the new Violent Rays negate.
Which, depending on what deck you're playing against, is an amazing card in itself. I typically play, I think, 2 Violent Rays in my current Broly BR deck.
It's an interesting negate in that against battle card decks, most of the time you'd rather have a topo, but against decks with big unisons, like this one with the double strike dual attack, it's amazing.
Yeah. So I think he was sitting there counting his deck because he was been pulling a lot of cards.
Yeah, and it's amazing that this Gogeta BR leader outdraws a leader with draw 2 as its activate main.
Yeah, but he is doing a lot of deck thinning though with the extra cards.
Yeah.
Then there's the extra as long as he does a union on his turn, he draws a card.
Yep.
So, and then the Gotenks draws a card too, I think.
It does. That's +0.
Yeah.
So here's an interesting interaction. We were bringing up the Final Guardian. Pitching it to a topo feels great.
Oh, yeah. That way it gives you another negate later on the road without having to worry about energy. So if you were to tap out. So now you have 2 in your drop, don't you?
I do.
Do you only play 2 in your deck?
Yeah. Both of us get to see most of our decks in this game.
Yeah. He must like his hand, because I know he has a lot of cards in his hand right now.
Yeah.
But again, you're pushing turn 6. You can play a lot of stuff. He needs to make sure he's being protective too.
And this is the stage in the game where Bulma starts to pull away from other red decks, where this 20k topo that I really just used as a negate, it's now becoming a real threat. Double Strike Kai is a possibility. If he combos and I play bigger battle cards later in the turn, that's scary. But
have you still not awakened yet?
We're
Or is
both
this the turn you awaken?
I awakened a couple turns ago. Whenever I played.
Did you? Okay, I must have missed that, flipping it over.
Yeah. The turn I usually what I'll do is turn 4 if I'm at 4 life. I'll play a Broly Crown of Ret and awaken just to get that energy back.
Okay. Can he pull it off? 6? Is he just hard casting it?
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Little Yamcha counterplay. And since a battle card got minused, we get One Hit Wonder out for free as well.
Nice.
Another card I'm thinking about increasing the number of in this list.
What happened there? Minus. One Hit Wonder takes a marker off, right?
No, One Hit Wonder is an old card from set 8. So when a battle card, when you reduce the power of one of your opponent's battle cards, One Hit Wonder comes out, and we switched dice to a dice that goes past 6. So now Go Tinks is at 7 markers, so that's why we swapped the 2 dice out.
Not 100% familiar with the Gotenks. Does that 6-drop add markers?
Yeah, the 6-drop, when it gets played, it adds markers to a red unison that you have in the battlefield.
Just wanted to make sure I was 100% familiar with it.
Yeah.
I played against Gotenks, but I feel like that never really came into a place. I'm always playing Gogeta. I'm always playing Gotenks. I'm just like ripping unisons.
You're ripping markers off instead of putting markers on.
Okay. I want to say that's a misplay. He just put 2 Gotenks under his card, though.
In the same turn?
In the same turn, yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice.
So I'll get with Matt about that next week. Just to make sure he's aware. Granted, we are fast forwarding, so these turns are very long because a lot of stuff is happening.
Yeah. Another topo. Let's just extend the game another turn. Why not?
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
And here
double strike coming at you.
Yeah. Here he's debating taking the topo challenge, as Fluff lovingly calls it.
Well, if he successfully, that free negate, there it is.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and Final Guardian.
What was it saying? He has enough cards. If he could have pushed that on you, you would have gotten 2 more cards, unfortunately, and he would have had 2 more battle cards he could have slung with. And he's gonna do it. He's trying to go for game because his leader has double strike right now.
Yeah, and I'm at 3 life. So anything he can push through right here really turns off after image, really limits my options.
So there's your counterplay. There's your counter attack. You are 10. That bumps him up to... He's 0, right?
Right.
No, he'd be 5,000 because Gogeta gets plus 5,000 on swings.
Right.
So 30,000.
So 30 into 20. Or 10, excuse me.
My curiosity is that he comboed the topo off. It's not enough to kill you. He's tapped out.
Maybe he has an Overrealm.
He might. I didn't know if he played Overrealms in his deck.
I don't know if he does or not. But I wasn't willing to risk it. So
for sure.
Out. Here I'm debating.
Oh, you did take
I
it,
ended up
though.
taking the damage anyway. There was no more combo power in my hand even after the draw. Or not enough to get past 30, by the way.
Yeah. Okay, this is when we came back from Human Being.
Yeah. I'm at 1 life. Opponent's at 3. Board state is getting kind of complicated.
See, that's
where
I'm like, you can't do that. Just clarification, it's the attacking battle card.
On Wolfang.
Or the attacking card, yeah, the Wolfang. I think it's red, you choose the attacking card.
Yeah, the only thing is that Wolfang can't hit unisons.
Correct. I think it's the leader or battle card, isn't it?
Right. Wolfang was a card that I was very low on when it came out, and after playing it in this list, I really enjoy it.
Which
The
I really
fact
don't understand.
it's
Because
one energy, even if you don't get to play it for free.
sorry, I don't understand why it doesn't hit Unisons, because it came out during the Unison thing. And for example, Release from Evil counterattack could hit any card and blanks it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
if someone minuses their Unison by whatever gets on the 1, they swing Wolfang Fist, and if it's not past 15, I think that's a game right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he after images, and since the battle's still going, I choose to reduce his leader, and then with the Wii super combo, reduce it further, and then combo out my hand to finish him off. It was an insanely challenging and close game between two good friends, playing basically the same deck.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a duel. It's nonetheless still pretty good. In my opinion, yes, we are aware there's one major misplay, and we've resolved that. We talked about it a little bit, and from here on out, we'll make sure it doesn't happen again. Thank you for tuning in, those of you who are watching. Like always, like, subscribe if you enjoy our content. There's my brain just went blank. Hit a bell, maybe, I don't know.
Ding.
Jake, any final words?
I just really enjoy this Bulma list. If you guys want to see the profile for it, leave a comment. I'm sure you guys can find pretty analogous lists elsewhere, but maybe you want my particular spice. Remember to vote. It's good to be back. Thanks for having me back, Bancroft.
Thanks for joining. And like always, read your cards, know your plays, fluff out.